want to talk about Princess Diana's death. She was born July 1, 1961.
Princess Diana.
Princess Diana.
July 1,
61.
All right. We have the energy. One moment. July 1, 1961. Princess Diana.
Do you want her death date?
All right. One moment. Go ahead.
August 31 of 1997.
August 31, 1997 in London or Paris? Paris. One moment. I believe it was Paris. Was it London?
I do not.
All right. One moment. Princess Diana death. Date again?
It was August 31, 1997.
August 31, 1997. All right. And do we have the location? Do we have a computer we could access?
A car crash was her death.
Car crash. All right. Paris? For some reason, London. Paris? London. It was a big city in Europe. One moment.
It looks like London.
London. All right. One moment. All right. One moment. Now, would you like to try to look at this through her eyes or?
Who's responsible for her death?
Well, she means in the way that, all right. Because from a manner of speaking, it was just the pressure of things in her environment. Does this make sense? But so, you're looking for something more specific. But go ahead.
The paparazzi, are they the ones?
No. No.
Who was following her limo that day?
One moment. Let's see if we can look at it through. We see her in the vehicle, back seat. One moment. Left side, right side, left side. Irrelevant. One moment. We see she's with a male. Yes. Was he driving? I thought, never mind. I don't know if it was a limo or that he was driving. I forget. Maybe
this. Not driving.
Oh, all right then.
There was a limo driver.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. All right then. Okay, so she. All right. We see. One moment. Relax. There's limo drivers is driving fast, trying to get away, but there may have been some like fans. Some people were seeking photos, but one moment. We see others there as well. Many 4 or 5 cars.
Correct.
Oh, okay. All right. One moment. And one. All right. It would seem that this was planned. The person who struck the vehicle looks to be a government agent, MI6, not sure, but possibly probably contracted to perform this. Does this make sense?
Yes.
All right. And there were others, in case he did not succeed. There were many, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, perhaps 5 vehicles pursuing the limo. One moment, target. They were targeting her. Yes. One moment. Question?
So, there's rumors that there's like about 18 conspiracy theories about her death.
All right.
How does one narrow it down?
Well, ultimately, to answer your question, it's about discernment. Discernment. Anytime you do what you call read a news article or see a documentary or a movie or even read a book, you're always using your discernment. What resonates with you, what does not resonate with you. Also, please understand the way timelines work on Earth and in general. It is possible, we're not going to necessarily look into it at this moment, but you do understand it's possible that they failed that night and she's still alive in another version of Earth. Does this make sense? And we're not saying that's true, but does that make sense in your language?
Does that mean that she's, in our language, gone to heaven?
Yes. We did not mean to suggest a conspiracy theory. We were trying to make an example. Does that make sense? Because you understand how parallel timelines work, and timelines and the idea of time is an illusion, right?
I've heard that, but I don't understand it.
Well, it's not real. I mean, you may look at your phone, your watch, the clock on the wall, the numbers on the digital device. However, it's a marker. It's a symbol, right? In a manner of speaking.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the idea is, while there are many similar parallel timelines that you're all on at the same time, idea of time, there are also many more going on that you're just usually not always aware of. Does this make sense?
So that kind of puts a perspective on the perception of 18
Oh,
conspiracies.
yes. In fact, if you looked around long enough, you may find 100. And go ahead.
All on different timelines. That's
Absolutely.
going on
Very
at the
good.
same time.
Absolutely. Very good. Thank you. Well said. Yes.
So in our timeline here on Earth right now, would you say that it was actually fans following her that caused her
No.
death?
No. They were, I believe we mentioned, they seem to be agents or contracted by government agents. Does this
Okay.
make sense?
Yes.
We could examine further if it helps. One moment. But did you have a question about this?
Well, is there
Mm.
anything else that you would want to or need to say about this?
There were many, many in the royal family who wanted her silenced. Does this make sense?
Uh huh.
Many in the banking industry wanted her silenced because she knew many, many things which were transpiring. Does this make sense?
Uh huh.
And she had actually possibly already written memoirs, had notes that have subsequently disappeared. One moment. Not sure if they've ever actually published or came to the light. There may have been a book after her death, but we're not sure if she was documenting everything and had detailed notes. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're not sure if this ever made it into one of your conspiracy theories or headlines. There are many, many to sift through. It's possible it's out there. However, be quite certain we can say as an absolute. She had even perhaps gone as far as to record some of their conversations. Does this make sense?
It does.
And the person being recorded was not aware. One moment. So photographs, notes, even some documents, many documents. Does this make sense?
Yes.
All right. Does this help?
Yes. Where are these documents and recordings now?
Wow. One moment. It does seem that some were either taken from her, stolen from her. One moment. Or otherwise disappeared. We're not sure if they're still in the idea of existence somewhere. One moment. It's possible. Yes, it would seem her boyfriend, Dodi, was it Dodi? One moment.
I,
Dodi Fayed, I believe. One moment. Anyway, her significant other at the time, she had shared a great deal with him, and he had made copies of things, and many copies, and put them in safe places. Does this make sense?
it does.
Oh,
Do we know where the safe places are?
oh boy. Looks like a bank safety deposit, home safe, friends, relatives, i.e., this would be very difficult to really pin down. Does this make sense?
Uh huh.
All right. Does this help in some way?
It does.
All right. Now, please understand also, this is simply one time. We're doing our best to scan the most common timelines, but please understand, and this information may or may not be public. It seems like he may have written a book as well. I'm not sure. There's so much information to scan through. One moment. If he did or did not write a book, it's maybe mentioned in a book or an interview he subsequently did. Not sure. One moment. It's not important at this moment. We can get caught up in too many details. What was your question or direction?
So he was Dodi Al Fade.
This sounds familiar. We recognize the first name. It looks kind of somewhat Italian, dark hair. Yes,
Yes,
no,
yes.
yes. All
And so was he also killed?
right. One moment.
And,
Uh, it doesn't seem so, but we don't. Let's see. Let's look at it. It looks like he's injured but doesn't die. We're not sure. One moment. This can be tricky sometimes as well. Did did the boyfriend die in the,
No.
do we ask about the chauffeur too? Is he safe? One,
Okay,
or,
so let me, the guy,
so
this,
it doesn't, well, all we can go with is it doesn't seem like he died. Seems like he's injured, but
the
we're not
bodyguard
sure.
died.
Oh, there was also a bodyguard there.
Yeah,
Was that the chauffeur or a different person? It doesn't matter. One moment. It's not. We can get. Go ahead.
that's who was driving.
Oh, thank you. All right. Bodyguard was driving. All right. Thank you. Go ahead. What was the question?
Okay, so Jody,
Hmm.
is he still fearful for his life over the
Mm,
information he knows?
mm, I think it would seem he was perhaps for a while, but not so much at this time. Does this help?
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you may want to say?
Mm, yes, it's possible she's already back on Earth in the way of you think someone coming back to Earth. One moment. But it's all one. It's all now, and it's all one. And this is probably not relevant to try to explore. We don't have anything else at this time, do you? If,
I
feel
just
free.
wanted to confirm,
All right, please.
and you're in the higher realms of the cost, did Jody have a Ed die in that crash?
All right, one moment. We'll examine this again. One moment. So the chauffeur. We're not looking at the chauffeur. Gentleman to the right, dark hair. We see injury. One moment. But here's where it gets tricky, if we may, because we see the princess injured as well, but we don't necessarily see her dying. Does this make sense?
Right.
It.
She later died in the hospital.
Oh. Okay. Thank you. Excuse me. All right.
Same with the bodyguard. But they're not mentioning anything about Jody,
Oh.
other
Same
than
with the
they
body.
believed he was killed instantly.
Oh. Um. And this could be why, if there's not, if it was so instantaneous that he essentially didn't experience a great deal of trauma. Not that we want people to experience trauma, but it leaves an indelible mark. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, we do get the sense that he's harmed and injured in some way. I
I think there's this conspiracy that he's alive.
I don't know if this is one of them, but see, and it's also possible, if we may, that he died and he's already returned to the planet. Does that make sense? And
Uh-huh.
that's why we're picking up on his energy. It's
Okay.
possible, but one moment. It's difficult to read because there are many timelines, but as we said, or I believe we mentioned earlier, we actually have him seemingly alive on the planet. Now, again, if that's as Dodie in this lifetime or another lifetime, we could try to figure that out if you want, or would this help in some way? Or
Yes,
all
it
right,
would.
okay, let's try. What's his date of birth again?
Okay. April 15, 1955.
April 15, 1955. Dodie. The first name seems to be enough to resonate.
Well,
April 15th,
he
nineteen
had a
fifty-five.
different name at birth.
Oh,
Imad Elvin Mohammed
oh,
Abdel.
ooh, all right, interesting.
He was born in Alexandria, Egypt.
All right. Ooh, was he royalty or one moment? We're getting a sense that, well, how do we say that?
Well, yes, he was. He
Oh,
did have a royal line, and that's why he was with Princess Diana,
all right, one
the
moment.
royal.
All right, one moment. Yes, all right, one moment. Um, they genuinely cared for each other. One moment. And he very much wanted to help her with this information and truth. One moment. They were trying to figure out a way to both be safe, keep safe. They had been tipped off that they were in grave danger. One moment. Princess Diana says she's tired of running. She's tired of being afraid of them. One moment. She just wants people to know the truth, but she doesn't want to scare anyone. So even she had difficulty figuring out, how do I bring this information to the public and not get killed and do it in a way that doesn't scare people. Does this make sense?
Uh-huh.
One moment. And Dodie was trying to assist with this. They were working with possibly good guys in the government. And I say possibly, I didn't mean this. They were working with good guys in the government, or good guys in very key positions that were very well trusted. I didn't mean to suggest that they were misled. They had good, they had, one moment, they had protection. They had people attempting to assist them, although all of them were very concerned about discussing their whereabouts. Could be even in, was 1997. You know, they knew their every move could be traced very easily. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, one moment. So they were going to go to a safe place provided by a genuine, true, helpful person of the government. One moment, or military. One moment, official. But they were good. They were not. They did not. They were genuinely good people helping them. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
And they were trying to figure out how to get. In fact, we see some of the vehicles that were possibly near the car. Some of them were not good guys, and a couple of them might have been genuine good guys of the government trying to help. Does this make sense?
Right.
All right, one moment.
The bodyguard for one.
Well, you had the bodyguard or the driver. We see a driver. One moment. But then we also see at least two or three vehicles that were the good guy militaries, the good guy government, trying to have protect her, and they knew that they were being chased, etc. We could go into detail, but it's not really relevant. Does this make sense?
It doesn't. I want to apologize for giving you an inappropriate location of
Was it Paris? Or,
the wreck. It
oh, excuse me.
was the underpass, the Pont de Alma underpass in Paris.
All right. Thank you for the clarification. We were not sure. All right. Thank you, Marla. Thank you for clarifying that. Did you have any more questions?
Do you perceive the information that Dodie was hiding will be made public?
Well, one moment. He already, or it has, the information has already been shared with the correct people. Does this make sense?
It sort of, but why haven't they come out?
Marla, you know what happens to people on your planet who tell the ultimate truth about your owners, right?
Oh, yes.
I mean, do we need to expand on that? We're not trying
No.
to be negative, but you you remember how many people have tried to tell you the truth and lost their lives?
Yes.
All right, that's plenty. Thank you. We didn't mean to offend you. Excuse me. Did you have any other questions?
No other questions unless you had something else you wanted to say.
Not necessarily. But thank you, and I thank you, Marla.
You're welcome.